He had a good friend who did a lot of drag racing with this. I don't know. They pick certain classes that they want to run in, and that's what this guy did. You know, had to be a Ford. You
Hmm.
know.
You can still be friends with him, huh?
Oh yeah, but
Well, hey, my
Ford
first car was a Ford.
the Ford was crazy, you know. But they wrecked it. He wrecked it down in a drag strip in Florida. Flipped the car 150 miles an hour.
Oh, gee.
So, and then they said, well, first they were going to rebuild it, and then they said, no. They found a perfect body out in Ohio. It's like a '64
Hmm.
certain Ford, whatever. I forget what model it is. So, but gonna rebuild the car he bought into a street car, and then rebuild. Where do you guys come up with all this money? It's beyond me. He's gonna come up with money to rebuild a race car, too. So I don't know. They all. Anyhow.
What about? There's a story about being in the cars. What about this story of some puppet when you were in the car?
Oh, you lost your puppet. Rice Krispie.
I don't know
What?
this story.
Rice Krispie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was.
I would never remember this, so we should write it down.
Rice Krispie. What
Okay,
is
Grammy, go get your book.
I didn't even write it down. Yeah. It was. Of course, you don't know people, so. Well, my mom's stepfather. He had a brother, and he was married, and they had kids very big. You know, anyhow, it was like 1950, I think. We were living in Visconti Street, and they were going to visit relatives in.
That I don't remember.
He was going to visit relatives. I want to say he goes to Washington. State of no, not state of Washington.
DC.
No, no.
Utah?
Oh. What?
No, it was out west.
Yeah, not the state of Washington.
Ohio?
Well, out that way.
Okay.
And crazy as it seems, my mom let me go with him.
Without her?
Yeah. I went with him. I think it was short. It was a road trip. And anyhow, so yeah, I remember because he had a 1950 Ford, four-door, right? And of course it was a four or less, I think. Anyhow, and we were riding along, and then used to get not gifts. Used to get little prizes and cereal boxes.
Okay.
Yeah.
There was a hand puppet. And it was a Rice Krispies. I guess they used to eat Rice Krispies.
Snap,
Snap,
crackle,
crackle,
pop.
and pop.
yes.
And I forget which one it was, but I had it with me, you know. And well, you gotta appreciate it because a 1950 Ford. You don't even know what vent windows are. You know, the Camaro, '67 Camaro was the last year they had vent windows in a GM car.
Uh-huh.
So you can open the little vent windows, the rear door, but it had a little vent, had a roll down window, and
Right.
it had a vent window you could open, close. So I had
Crispy.
Snap or whoever it was, right, out locked in the glass, right, sailing along, riding along, probably waving like this, crazy. And then, you know, like a dumb, I was what, 7 years old? I opened the window by mistake, and
Of course, they didn't stop to go get
Oh
back
my
and
God.
get it.
They just about spoke English, I think.
I said, I can't believe he
They-
made that trip
They,
with them.
yeah. My uncle, as I used to call him, he worked,
Uncle Aber?
Uncle Abraham.
That's
Abraham.
Nanette's husband. I mean, father.
Yeah, he worked in the Waldorf Astoria. He was a waiter in the Waldorf. And so was his brother,
And
which
that,
was, I guess at that time, big stuff.
'cause that's where your grandfather worked, right?
No,
He wanted to be a chef at the
He was,
Waldorf? I thought he did with,
no,
what's
I
his
think
name?
he was more of a baker. I think he was.
Nana was always talking about someone who worked there, or maybe she worked.
My
She
mother
did.
worked
She
at the
worked
Waldorf.
She worked
She
there
did,
too, but
yeah.
Right.
Mother worked at Waldorf. They all did. My father worked at the Ritz Carlton. I guess that was what you did,
right.
you know. If you weren't skilled in
Right.
some kind of labor, I guess you performed your.
It's funny.
Rice Krispies.
I can't stand it. I love this so much. It just blows me away. All the greenery and the lights and the little secluded area here.